TajLive live stream. Now this is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I've had so far just streamed on LinkedIn and YouTube, and those streams were a little bit more structured, and I prepared the presentation and talked about a certain topic that I'm interested about or I think my target audience will like. This is a new format where I'm going to keep things a lot more free. And I know that when you start streaming, it's probably going to be a really long time before somebody's actually watching. But I want to do this for a couple of reasons. First of all, when I do the work, it's always really interesting for a lot of people to see my thought process, and they can get inspired by the things that I do. It will also allow me to create more content because the recording is already going to be there. So when I'm talking about a specific topic that I'm really passionate about, it's going to be really easy to cut the interesting part out and then publish that as video. So I'm trying to lower the barrier of entry to producing these videos and sharing my knowledge with the world. I have a couple things planned beyond streaming these kind of topics. There's still going to be things that are more structured, the structured live streams that are just focused on one topic, that I prepare a presentation or have an interview. But I'm going to start doing these in-betweens that I'm going to call TajLive, where I work on something, you get to follow with me, and then hopefully at some point people are going to be joining in the chat and asking questions, and it's going to be a bit more interactive. But until we get there, journey before the destination, as a quote from The Way of Kings says. All right. Where do you want to go? Where do I want to take this from now? Perhaps I want to talk about, let's start with my website, or actually let's start with my profile. And I'm gonna switch to presentation mode and let's see. So I kind of went around, I pitched myself as a fractional CTO at first, and then I realized a couple of things that made me move into a CTO mentor kind of situation. And let's scroll down a bit so you're not getting the stream 3 times in a row and looking into the distance. All right. There's a couple of different things, right? When you say a fractional CTO, the types of clients and the types of companies that I like to help are those with small tech teams that are struggling to scale for some reason. For example, maybe they have quite relatively small tech department and they want to scale their business, and there's some problem. Maybe there's a lot of legacy. And very often when I come into these conversations, there is already a technical leader inside the company. Now, I want to help not just one company, because that's what I traditionally did. Is I joined as either engineering manager, engineering lead, tech lead, or director of engineering, and then I tried to transform one organization at a time from the inside. And sometimes, a lot of times actually, that organization didn't want to get transformed from the inside. So there was a lot of friction to the change. I needed to gather support within the company and make them see that, hey, there's a better way of doing things. And let's move towards more things that are higher business impact, things that are more sustainable, and let's make development fun to work in for developers, for people, right? That's been my goal so far. And then I realized that whenever I am in a situation where I join a company and then I try to transform it from the inside, at some point it doesn't scale anymore. And I want to take the lessons that I've learned over 10 plus years of doing this one company at a time and condense that into lessons that people who are inside companies who want to initiate that kind of change can learn from and then apply in their own life. Like the first talk that I ever did was focused in this way. It was about we're not just developers. We are at the company as engineers, as developers to solve a problem. And to do that, we need to be aware of the business that we're in and kind of what kind of impact that is having. That was my first ever talk. And throughout my career, I was always fascinated with this other perspective of why are we building something, right? What kind of impact does it have on the users? And I was most unhappy on projects where there was no direct impact. And I always jumped out of my realm of influence, let's say, or my designated role to try to fix those problems in leadership, in not having enough business research, not having a lean approach, not knowing our customers well, right? I try to understand, like, who are we serving? What are our customers? What do they need? How do we build something that they will enjoy using? And then doing it in a way that grows the business for once and doesn't create, death and destruction by overworking everyone and by killing the passion for development that people, programmers, naturally have. So I think those are two really important topics that I like to focus on, is leadership and a business mindset. And I try to grow that from, the junior engineer that comes join my team to the very senior leaders that I work with. So I want to do that for more people. And I started as being fractional CTO. And then I realized through the conversations that what I'm actually doing is mentoring somebody who's at that job. Because what I really want to do is help 1,000 companies transform their tech departments so that they're proud of their tech departments and that they're creating business value and that the development is fun and engaging and ultimately serves a goal and people get fulfillment out of it. Because if we don't have that, if we are just developing something that nobody needs, that really is soul crushing, because you can see teams that are making an impact, and if you're just stuck on a team that is building something that is either unethical, useless, or malicious, or just bogged down in complexity, and you can see there's a better way to serve customers, but we are just like corporate structures are preventing us to do that can be really soul crushing. And I want to transform as many organizations as I can to go from a place where we are building this, we are stuck in the trap of not knowing who the customers are, why we're building, having crushing technical debt, into organizations that are fun to work with, solve a real problem, and are just amazing places to be in. So that's my goal. And I want to do that through mentoring technical leaders who are in this area of 5 to 10, let's say, roughly engineers and they're struggling to make the transition from individual contributors to technical leaders. And when I say technical leaders, I mean strategic leaders. And there's a difference. If we talk about, what's the difference between just being a tech lead and being a strategical tech lead, right? Something that very often happens, and I see in those companies that are at that scale, is that the developer who is most senior gets promoted to the title of the CTO. And the CTO inflation, title inflation is a thing that we can discuss, but I think it's a bad thing. Somebody needs to be in a leadership position, and if the company is small, you can call the most experienced engineer a CTO. No problem with me. However, very likely that person has not been trained properly in what strategic leadership is, how to deal with people, how to grow and nurture a fantastic tech team, and how to talk about technology in a business sense. Meaning, how do you transform business language into technical requirements and then communicate back to the business what the impact of maybe technical changes or new features has been. And that's not always easy, but it's really important to do it, because usually in this, the strategic CTO is able to transform those requirements both ways and kind of bridges the gap between what business wants and what technology can deliver. And in a lot of companies that I've seen, there's a big gap in between. And when you have someone in a position where they're not a strategic leader, but they're just bogged down by, let's say they do hands-on work, still they're programming, they probably know the system the best, maybe they're still, writing deployment scripts like that. That's been my guilty. I've been guilty of like writing deployment scripts for way too long, and when I should have been leading and focusing on other things, because I love that and I do that at home when I have some free time. But it's not the right thing to do if you are in a technical leadership position and the business depends upon you. So those people are very likely overworked because all the problems, let's say there's a customer support request, somebody needs something in finance, a new report, or somebody wants a feature that needs to be broken down. They come to this technical leader and they get everything on top, right? All the requests, hiring, firing, managing the team, mentoring new people that are joining, trying to grow the team, and then figure out, okay, what kind of processes do we need inside the company so that we can scale to the next level. That's really, really tough work. And it's a really tough position to be put in, where you are at the same time trying to juggle all those responsibilities, and then on the other hand, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I create processes that kind of take care of themselves? So that's broadly what I would love to do. So that's why I pitched myself recently as I helped overwhelm hands-on CTOs become strategic leaders. I'm also a fractional executive and a tinkerer. The fractional executive is because I would love to be hands-on on one company where I can be the fractional lead, where I try to apply my theories, my skills, and get more knowledge out of it that I can feed into my mentorship program so that I can be a better mentor for the CTOs that I work with. So that's been one part. So LinkedIn in this case plays a big role for me because it's my primary platform, but I have a huge gripe with social media platforms in general. And I have, as a child of the 90s, growing up with the inception of the internet and GeoCities and everything, I love the web. And what has stood the test of time and what has actually worked best is to have a personal website. So that's my website. As all personal websites, it's constantly out of date, so I'm still talking about being a fractional CTO here. But I want to talk today about a little bit about the new strategy and where I'm kind of going with this. How can I help 1,000 tech teams transform, right? That's the question. Well, it's going to take a lot of marketing. It's going to take a lot of reaching out, posting content, and just getting interest from people who want to see this kind of thing. In conversation that I've seen, when people do find me and reach out, I'm having a blast and they really enjoy the insights. The challenge so far for me has been really to get an audience and to get to talk to the right people, to the CEOs, to the leaders who actually need that kind of support. And a couple of times in this last year and a half since I've been doing this as a freelancer, it has worked really well. The magic was there. So I want to scale that. And the plan now is that the website is going to be the core of it because I want to own all my data. I don't feel comfortable placing all my thoughts and all my value into LinkedIn because that's not the platform that I own. I also don't want to keep my videos just on YouTube, right? So what I'm doing right now, like the first version of the website, I built it on Squarespace. I know I'm a programmer and I built it with Squarespace because I wanted it out immediately. So that's kind of the first version, is just to have something. It's not very good. It doesn't get any traffic and I'm not really pasting anything in there. What I want to do with the new website that I'm going to start building and probably also stream the process is that it becomes the hub. Let's go to Miro and start diagramming a little bit. So let's say it's going to become the hub for everything. So let's put it in the middle. Website. All right, it's going to be here. Oh, purple. Purple border. Yeah, white text. Nice. No, perfect. Almost perfect, still struggling. I had an iPad prepared for that, but... So website is going to be at the center because I want to own my content. And then the website will have a funnel. So there's a couple of different things like that. That's the hub, right? So let's write that's the hub. Let's do it a little bit bigger. Let's say like this. All right, that's going to be the hub. Then we've got the social media platforms. So we've got, let's go with this shape. We've got LinkedIn. Let's go with light green for this on black text. Or yeah, let's go black because black is the best color. So LinkedIn, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter and now X, like the media likes to call it. I mean, if that's not the worst rebrand that I've ever seen, that you need to call it the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, then I don't know what's a bad rebrand. All right, we've got LinkedIn. Let's do YouTube as well, because I have some content then there, and I have some. And now, back. Then we've got Twitch. So this is currently the social media platforms that I'm kind of interested in. I haven't done much on X, but I've done some YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Mostly LinkedIn, so I'm gonna order them in terms of like my priority. It's gonna be like this, and then probably this one will come underneath. So I'm gonna do that, and then the purpose is to drive traffic from all these sites to my website. Right, that's all. Get people a ton of value and then ultimately get them here. Why? Because let's do this. It's gonna be now here I'm on the fence. Probably ConvertKit, because again I want to own my email list. So let's do that. All the different integrations are gonna go here. So ConvertKit, probably Stripe, right? I want to be able to sell something, my services. Though I also have Calendly. So let's do Calendly. Now with ConvertKit, I'm kind of on the fence, because for me, ideally, it seems like driving them from the website to my email list and then turning them into email subscribers is what. So let's do ConvertKit. That's mailing list. Ideally, I want to provide a ton of value through the mailing list and then find my ideal clients like that. So Calendly, that's I copy pasted that. Email audience, right? Can we turn that into a heart? Does it have a heart shape? All shapes. Yes, heart. No. You need to pay for that, and it's from Asia. Hell no. Not doing that. All right, then let's just keep it magenta, because it's amazing. Stripe, we're gonna put a different color. Calendly, that's my calendar tool. So yeah, website, you can go here, you can schedule a call with me. Like Stripe is integrated into Calendly, so you can pay for an hour of consulting sessions, like for an hourly session. But from ConvertKit, I wanna do email audience, and there's another component here that I wanna do, which is, let's do that. Newsletter, yeah. So the newsletter should automatically publish. I mean, it's going to be part of the website, right? I want to actually, let's do it like this. Newsletter, that's my entry point. I want to publish it to my website, right? So I want to write it once. I don't want to post everywhere, because I want to write it as a post that stays on my website. Then that gets pushed into LinkedIn. Where is a handle? Check it like this. That goes into LinkedIn. That goes into not Twitch, but let's say the social media platform formerly known as X. That's how I want to do it. Let's do that in purple. So basically, I post something and it goes, let's do that in purple as well. Everything in purple. So, write a post, publish it on the website, it goes into ConvertKit, and then goes as an email to the audience, gets published on LinkedIn, and gets published on X as a tweet. Maybe I'll use AI for that to kind of condense it into a tweet. I don't really want to invest that much. Maybe I'll just convert it with AI into a tweet and then have people backlink into the website. Reasonable? Bad idea? Not sure. Do I want to try it? Hell yeah. All right, let's do that. AI that turns it into a tweet automatically. Like this. No. Like that. All right, AI turns it into a tweet, and then people go back to read the full article on the website. Let's see, I'm gonna check Restream just in case we have some comments on the first ever live stream. Not really. Turns out nobody's watching, but maybe you are. Who knows? If you are, thank you for watching the first ever live stream. It's exciting to have you here, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you'll come back, or that you've learned something useful along the way. All right, let's keep going. So that's the plan. And that's the plan. Don't get distracted by my other stuff on the right. So let's maybe pull it out. Just as an aside, this is when you're working in a business, let's say you're a CTO, and how I think about what's low impact, what's high impact, what are more strategic tasks versus what are more tactical. So that's something that a tool that I use. Also really useful for me when I'm trying to figure out, am I being too tactical or am I doing marketing and things like that. Things like now streaming the good stuff. All right. Yeah, that looks solid. Did I forget something? I mean, I could break down the website a little bit more. So my primary service, let's break down the website a little bit more. Let's do, because the website needs a lander, right? So let's ultimately everything from the website. This is going to be, let's copy and pasta. This, not this, not this, this. And say lander. Like I think my primary service for now is mentoring, one-on-one, kind of on one-on-one. And depending on the time, we can go a little bit more in depth into what that actually is. Yeah, let's keep it mentoring one-on-one, and then this starts the process of, this is how you buy. Essentially, you go through this. Oh, there's a questionnaire here. I don't know how to spell questionnaire, so it's just going to be like this. Ah, questionnaire with 2 N's. Fancy. All right. Why a questionnaire? I'm glad you asked. I want to get clients who are a perfect fit for me. So that means that if I give them a questionnaire first so that they can self-diagnose what they think the problem is, what their current business goal is, what they're trying to achieve, then I'm going to have a much more informed conversation when we actually jump on a call. I don't want the first call, the first interaction with me to be completely blank where I'm trying to figure out everything, like what's in your industry. Because very likely if you're like depends. Still not sure if I want to really niche down on very, very likely if you're trying to find some specific advice, like how to scale in fintech, where there's a lot of rules. If it's like medtech and you're trying to, do things in a compliant way, or if you're building tech software, then probably we're going to be a bad fit. But if you're in e-commerce, if you're doing software as a service or something like that, that's going to be a fantastic fit. Like, from my experience, maybe more than 90% of the time, the technology itself is not the issue. We're just building the same things over and over again with a little bit of a different spin on it. But usually IT is in a supporting role. It's just in 2024, and it's been true for the last 20 years. IT has played a huge role. Like, if you take IT out, nothing works. No products get shipped. And even if you're not a software as a service, like if you're retail, if IT drops, you're not selling anything. So that's why it's really important to have a good connection between the business side and the technology. And yeah. I lost my train of thought because I'm thinking about what's the next step. Then the next step is going to be intro call. Because I want to find out more about you. I want to really understand your problems and what problem are we solving? Like, what do you want to achieve? Why are we there? Why are you talking to me? And then intro call might be, So there's a couple of different things that I found out. I want to screen clients quite aggressively. So maybe in the questionnaire, maybe we're a bad fit and you're looking for somebody else. I'm going to refer you to somebody else. I'm not going to waste our time, your precious time, with trying to sell you something that I don't do. So intro call, and then very likely there's going to be a paid discovery phase. And why a paid discovery? So after the intro call, like, it might be a call or maybe it will be 2 calls. I really want to understand your problem first. And this is probably optional. But what I found out, sometimes it's so complex to come to to define the problem in a way that you really find what exactly is the underlying cause. Because the clients come to you and they say, they're talking in terms of solutions. They're thinking they have a limited view because they're not the expert. They come to you and they say, okay, we want to double our tech team. And my immediate question is why? Why do you need more people? Well, we have some extra features that we want to build. One is really important. It's a really big feature. But again, what's the impact of that feature? What are you trying to achieve? And that kind of conversation can sometimes be not one call, but actually a series of calls. And the ultimate result is that the company that goes through that process gets a lot of knowledge in finding out what their goals really are, right? So that's valuable. And I don't want to do that for free, because if it's valuable, it should be assigned a monetary value, right? And I want to make it really valuable. So a lot of times this is not necessary, but sometimes it is. And sometimes it's super valuable to do it. And then okay. Let's do a nice cup win. Maybe here. All right. Like on the intro call, let's do an S, because there might be more. Because I want to understand your problem. So after I understand the problem and I understand the value of what you want to build, what's the impact of whatever we are doing, I'm going to think about the proposal, but it's going to be verbal. And then after we agree on a call, so I'll probably break that down. Proposal, maybe it's getting too granular. So let's just leave it there. So generally, this is how it works. Maybe I'm not going to call that mentoring one-on-one, because there's one problem with mentoring one-on-one. Usually it's not one-on-one. Let's say tech team transformation. A really bad name, but maybe it's not even tech team transformation. What is it? Why am I confused about this? Or confused? Maybe confused is not the right word. If I say it's mentoring one-on-one and I'm mentoring the CTO, like CTO mentorship, like so it's essentially, usually it's the CTO who I'm mentoring directly the most. But if I just do that, we are not bridging the divide, or it's between business and tech. It's happening too slowly. What I want to do is, when I'm mentoring the CTO, I want to mentor the CEO as well, because this relationship is crucial and it's really, really important to mentor both sides. So the CEO needs to know how to communicate the vision and the business goals to the CTO. If that's not happening, then the CTO doesn't know what's the impact of what's getting built, and then they cannot transfer that to the team. So the whole process breaks down. So that's why it's really important that the CEO does his part, and then that the CTO is able to take that vision and then transfer it to the tech team and actually build features that will support it and ship something that's useful. So I want to have the CTO and the CEO inside the same room together and have them learn to communicate in those terms. Don't tell me what you need, tell me the outcome that you're trying to achieve, and then let the CTO figure out how to do that. So that's the CTO, like it's focused on the CTO, but it kind of goes a bit around it, because sometimes often the CEO needs to be included as well, but also it's really beneficial if the tech team is included, at least in some sessions, because that helps accelerate the program. So if I'm working one-on-one with the CTO alone, it's just going to take that much longer for me to mentor and coach this person into the new role, to be more strategic, and then have them teach the CEO how to communicate with them, have them teach the team how to follow the new processes. It's possible, but it takes longer. And usually we want fast results. And that's why people come to me. Right? So that's probably something that I need to work on, and maybe probably that's the meat for the next live session. We're gonna go into this CTO mentorship, like my premier program that I'm building, and then gonna go into, okay, what does that mean, how does it look like, what the prices are, and so forth. And now the second thing, I've got ConvertKit here, but maybe, just maybe, like Substack kind of plays a similar role, but I would almost like put it somewhere between I'm not sold on Substack yet. Like everyone moved there and they're writing and doing quite successfully. It seems like it's all the rage with all the programming folks and CTOs and everyone who's in that tech IT scene. The problem that I have with Substack, it's a social media platform. So you don't really own what's there. So it's kind of in the middle between having your own mailing list and having being a social media platform like LinkedIn. And I'm not sure that I like that. Because at some point, the whole IT scene was on Medium, and then they put a paywall on that, and everything went to hell. So nobody is using Medium, has kind of crashed and burned. I'm afraid that the same thing happens to Substack, and if I'm investing a lot into building a Substack audience, I know that you can migrate it, but I would just feel better if I just completely own my email list. I might cross-post. Let's see. That's a question for another day. Like what to do with Substack. And if you know the pros and cons between ConvertKit and Substack, let me know, because I'm really curious. Drop me a DM on LinkedIn and let's chat. I'm just going to do a question mark. A big white question mark. All right, and then we have the free stuff. Right? How do we get people in? How do we teach it? How do we transform 1,000 tech teams? One is one-on-one mentorship. Or like the CTO mentorship package. Let's call it CTO mentorship package. That's the fast track. That's when you know you want to work with me, you have the cash, and you want fast results. Then we go there. If you're still not sure, but you still want to have value, then probably I want to do some course. I can hear my kids crying, so we're going to probably cut this short today. And I'm going to take them out for ice cream because it's the 1st of May. It's Labor Day. So it's warm but super windy here in Brno. So let's say video course, and those are video course articles. And those are gonna be lead magnets. Let's do that. Sticky notes, maybe this shape, do this. Maybe like this. So those are lead magnets. Free value. Let's call it free value. That's also my YouTube channel. I'm gonna focus a bit more on actually pumping out videos that are on a specific topic that really help with technical leadership, basically all the things that I do inside this. And I got a lot of content in this pipeline with the first client that I've had. So a lot of those lessons that we've been working on with this client are totally transferable to others. So I want to go through the notes that I sent to the CTO of that company and then transform that into lessons. Oh, just a second. All right, need to wrap it up slowly because, or rather quickly, because I've got not one, but two crying kids. So that's fun. Need to take them for a quick ice cream. So where were we? Free value. I want to, transform mission hub. We're gonna put the mission here, and I worded it on my GitHub. Let's do this and go to GitHub. Let's see. So that's my mission. I'm on a mission to empower 1,000 leaders to create thriving tech teams that developers love to be in and businesses are proud to have. And this is how you can do it. That's how you're going to be able to do it. This, and this is the fast track, right? So if you want to do it on your own time, here, fast track. Fast track with me. All right, so that's kind of my idea, what I sketched up, and then there's gonna be a lot more about that. Like, I'm gonna need to create, all of this, and that's all of this can turn into a mini project. So marketing is gonna be a huge part of it because I want to get the word out. So yeah, it's gonna be like, what do we do with the video course? Articles are gonna be a huge thing, newsletter. But for now, I think the next step is actually to fix up my LinkedIn and then to go into to quickly prototype the content, not the design and everything, but the content of the CTO mentorship package, and basically present my case of like how I approach things, what has worked for the companies that have worked with me so far, and how does it look like if you decide to get a CTO mentorship package with me. Like, what does the fast track look like? What does the questionnaire look like? How's the intro calls? What's the process? What's the price? And then getting people aware that this exists, it's available. If you want fast track, then and you're a good fit, then I would love to get more clients into this funnel and create some more fantastic tech teams. So soon I'll be able to do this number down to 999, and then we only have, once the second, third one rolls around, we're gonna be much closer to zero, and then we add another zero to the end and say 10,000 leaders. There's one thing that I forgot, which is Discord, my Discord community. Sorry, Discord community. I forgot about that. It's a little bit special. So Discord is like Slack for somebody else. It's where you can chat directly with me. It's where my clients are as well. Like, you get a dedicated channel. So this probably goes both ways, like that. So I want some people to come in to the website, and I want them to also go from my website and join the Discord community. Because it's fun and we have cookies. And sorry, for Discord community, I forgot to tell you that I'm going to be streaming live, but you'll watch the recording. Right, perfect. Anything else? That's it for now. For next time, we're going to break down the CTO mentorship package. We're going to be working on that. And then my favorite part, actually coding everything, because I want to own everything. So instead of using Squarespace or some other provider, we're going to build it from scratch, and we're going to build it fast, because I don't have time to build for 3 months. It needs to be fast. It needs to be everything controlled by me, so that I have this amazing hub where I put all my content, all my free stuff, all my blog posts, all my thoughts, something that's independent and can stand the test of time and still be around when Substack goes away or LinkedIn becomes a bloated piece of AI generated excrement, which is slowly becoming the case. So yeah, that's the overall plan of where I see things, where I want to take my business and my ideas. And I would love to see you as a follower on any of those channels: LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X. So if you happen to find this video by chance, make it all the way to the end, please consider subscribing to any of those channels if you're interested in how to become a strategic CTO, how to become more than just a developer who implements according to spec, but a developer who develops according to the business value that they generate. If you want to learn how to communicate better with other departments, with other people on your project, if you want to upgrade your skills from pure coding into this other realm where you're actually making an impact with your code, then any of those resources are going to be fantastic. And there's obviously a lot more content in this space already on YouTube and on other channels, so feel free to also invest in your own education and learn how to go from an individual contributor into a strategic leader. So learn about negotiation skills, learn about communication, learn about how to manage stakeholders, how to have efficient meetings, super important. Learn about how to work with introverts, how to have quality one-on-ones, how to schedule your own time, how to schedule everybody else's time, or let them schedule it themselves, give them power, how to invert, and and all of that that's brewing inside here is eventually going to make it into one of those channels that we have just laid out right now. So thank you so much for being on the TajLive #1. My name is Taj, it rhymes with high, and I hope to see you